Hey guys, and welcome back to Versatile Knowledge. And today we'll be talking with you guys about the Poco F2, or if you can call it as the rebranded Redmi K30 Pro. So as you guys all know, Redmi K30 Pro launched in China on March 24th and it will be going on sale soon, and it's a really good smartphone that was released on that day. First, let's talk about the specifications of the Redmi K30 Pro, and then I'll be talking with you guys about why this Redmi K30 Pro will be the Poco F2 in India. To start with, the Redmi K30 Pro comes with a 6.67-inch Super AMOLED display, which is a normal 60Hz display. Well, Redmi K30 had an LCD display with the 120Hz refresh rate, and that was the selling point of the Redmi K30, and which came as the Poco X2 to India also had an LCD display and 120Hz refresh rate, and Poco was taking a lot of marketing effort to just market this 120Hz smooth AF. And yes, it is a smooth screen, but it is not a huge deal altogether. But this Redmi K30 Pro has a normal 60Hz refresh rate display, and it is a Super AMOLED display, as I said earlier, and it is a 2400 x 1080 resolution, which is a full HD plus panel with around 88% of screen to body ratio. It does not have any punch hole, or it does not have any water drop notch or anything. It has a complete edge to edge screen, just like the Redmi K20 Pro. Well, this AMOLED panel has been manufactured by Samsung, which is the Samsung E3 AMOLED panel, and it has some amazing features such as 360-degree light sensitivity for adapting the display itself to the outdoor environments or any environment that you are sitting in, and it also has the dynamic capacity to adjust to the content that you are watching on the screen. It has a peak brightness of 500 nits as well, and it has excellent viewing angles and outdoor visibility for the screen. And this display comes with the HDR10 Plus certification and also Dolby Vision certification for amazing content experience on the display. And also, this display is a slight curve on the edge of the display and not on the complete sides. So it is a normal flat display with slight edge curve for the screen. The body of the smartphone is having a Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back and also the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front for protection. And it also has an IR blaster on the top. It has a pop-up selfie mechanism on the top, and bottom we have a single bottom firing speaker, the USB Type-C port as well. And on the sides we have a different color accent power button on every color model of the Redmi K30 Pro device. The device weighs about 218 grams and it has an aluminum frame on the sides as well. Now let's talk about the internals of the smartphone. The smartphone comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865, the flagship grade 7nm chipset from Qualcomm. This is the most powerful chipset that is available for Android smartphone space right now. This is the same chipset that is used on the Realme X50 Pro. This is the same SoC that will be used on the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro and all the upcoming flagships of the year 2020. This Redmi K30 Pro also comes with different storage and RAM options, the 6GB and 128GB model. Let's take a pause here and just analyze what is the 6GB 128GB model all about. The 6GB 128GB model has an LPDDR4X RAM, which is the previous generation RAM, and an UFS 3.0 storage. Let's go to the next model, that is the 8GB 128GB model, 8GB 256GB model, which is available, which has LPDDR5 RAM, and the 8GB 128GB model and also the 8GB 256GB model comes with the UFS 3.1 storage, which comes with extremely fast read and write speeds for faster application installation, faster transfer of files from one device to another device and one device to computer, and many other things as such. It is very fast with a writing speed of around 750 megabytes per second, and LPDDR5 also has 29% increased memory bandwidth when compared to the LPDDR4X, which is present on the 6GB 128GB model of the same Redmi K30 Pro smartphone. Whereas there is another model called Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition, which has the base storage of 8GB 128GB, then has an 8GB 256GB model, and also it has a 12GB 512GB model in its variants. Now let's talk about the cameras of this smartphone. I'll be talking about the cameras of both the Redmi K30 Pro and also the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition in this video. So let's start with the Redmi K30 Pro cameras. 64 megapixel Sony IMX686 sensor. Second camera, it is a 5 megapixel telephoto lens, and the third camera is a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. The fourth camera is a macro camera. And when it comes to the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition, it is a 64 megapixel Sony IMX686 sensor with optical image stabilization. The second camera is an 8 megapixel telephoto lens with optical image stabilization, and the most important feature of the Zoom Edition is the capacity of optical zoom. That means zoom itself, works like a DSLR zoom for 30x zoom shots that you can take for on your smartphone. It is an 8 megapixel telephoto lens, by the way. Fourth lens is a 2 megapixel macro lens for capturing the close-up shots of the objects. So this is the camera arrangement. When it comes to the front camera, both on the Redmi K30 Pro and the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition, we have the 20 megapixel pop-up mechanism front camera. So the biggest important factor about the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition is the capacity of optical zoom and also the capacity of optical image stabilization that is present on the Zoom Edition. Now let's talk about the video recording capabilities, which is one of the most important USPs of this device. It has capacity of 8K 24 FPS or 30 FPS video recording from the rear camera, which is again captured using the 64 megapixel Sony sensor. It has amazing capacity of capturing some extremely large details up to 4320 pixels, and also it has the video capacity of 4K at 60, 4K 30, 1080p 60, 1080p 30 and 24 and other things as such. When it comes to the front camera, it does not have 4K recording. It has 1080p at 60 fps and it has electronic image stabilization on the front camera. Now let's come to the battery department of this smartphone, which is a slight upgrade when compared to the last generation of Redmi K20 Pro. So this battery of this Redmi K30 Pro and the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition has 4700 mAh battery, support up to 33 watt fast charging. Not only the capacity of the battery has been increased, but also the charging speed has been increased. But one thing that is really disappointing is even the 14,000 rupees Redmi Note 9 Pro Max has a capacity of 33 watt fast charging, whereas this smartphone, which will be retailed above 30,000 rupees, has only 33 watt fast charging. I was expecting at least 40 watt fast charging or 5000 mAh plus on this smartphone. So this is a bit of a letdown for me. So now let's talk about all the sensors of the smartphone. It has a gyroscope, ambient light sensor, proximity sensor, barometer, and in-display fingerprint sensor, and all the other sensors that is very important for your device. It also has an NFC for the China edition. It has an IR blaster this time, which was actually removed from the Redmi K20 and the Redmi K20 Pro devices. The IR blaster makes a return this time, guys. And when it comes to India as a Poco F2, we have to wait and see whether they'll be removing the NFC or they'll be keeping NFC on this device or not. This device has a support for Qualcomm HD aptX, Bluetooth 5.1 certification for better Bluetooth connectivity, and also this device comes with 5G. All the models of the Redmi K30 Pro has 5G, right from the base model to the K30 Pro Zoom Edition 12GB model has the 5G support, which is actually not useful in India, guys, because 5G infrastructure is still not set up in India. Now let's come to the point of discussion where we'll be telling you guys why this Redmi K30 Pro is exactly the Poco F2 for India. So let's rewind the time back when Redmi launched the Redmi K30 in China, and after a couple of months it came to India as the Poco X2 in the month of February, and we saw the same Redmi K30 Pro with the same specs and everything ditto as the Poco X2 in India. And Redmi K30 Pro will be coming to India under the brand name Poco, but we are not yet sure whether it will be named as Poco F2 or it will be named as Poco X2 Pro or something else. My assumption is that it will be coming to India as Poco F2 in the month of May, because of the coronavirus lockdowns, the manufacturing and the assembly of everything, the import and everything has got affected. That's why it will take another 1.5 months for this smartphone to get ready and launch in India. So I'm expecting this smartphone to be launched in India somewhere in the mid of May, and it will be going head to head with the OnePlus 8, the base OnePlus 8 smartphone, not the Pro edition. So what actually concludes this Redmi K30 Pro to be under the Poco brand is very important thing. A few days back, a contributor or a writer of XDA developers actually found a code in the MIUI camera application which suggests a lot of things for you guys. As you guys can see on the screen right now, the MIUI camera code has a watermark which suggests that the Redmi K30 Pro is indeed the Poco F2 or the Poco brand smartphone, thanks to the digging work that has been done by the XDA developers. When you go in depth and check the code that is present over here, there are a certain set of functions or methods that has been actually written called BI. When you talk a little bit more about this BI method, you can see that there are code names called IMI and IMI Pro. So IMI is the Redmi K30 Pro and IMI Pro or the IMI Pro is the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom edition. And this particular variables has been called in another function which actually suggests that IMI IN and IMI IN Pro, which suggests that IMI IN is the Indian edition of the Redmi K30 Pro and IMI IN Pro is the Indian edition of the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom edition. This variable again has an hexadecimal code which again translates to short on Poco watermark, and which actually gives us the conclusion that this IMI IN and IMI IN Pro will be coming to India as the Poco branded smartphones. Since this much digging was done by XDA developers, hats off to them and a lot of credits to them for doing this dig up work. And the smartphone Redmi K30 Pro will indeed be coming as the Poco branded smartphone, but I don't know whether the naming will be F2 or X2 Pro or any other name as such. So now let's talk about the most important thing, that is what will be the price of this smartphone. I'm still actually amazed after 1.5 years, almost 2 years of the launch of the legendary Poco F1, that how did Xiaomi price it so less. Poco came to India at around 21,000 rupees for Snapdragon 845. It is still one of the most cheapest Snapdragon upper range or Snapdragon flagship grade smartphones in the world. But this Redmi K30 Pro, which will be coming as Poco F2, we can't expect the same cheap rate pricing. Two things. One is it has 5G support. I don't know whether 5G support will be coming to India or not, but the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 is an extremely expensive chipset. Hence the Poco F2 will not be coming as cheap as 21,000. So based on the Chinese pricing of the Redmi K30 Pro, I will give you my brief prediction of what will be the prices of this Poco F2 smartphone. So I think the Poco F2 smartphone, as the direct translation of Chinese pricing goes, will be priced at around 29,999 rupees for the base 6GB 128GB variant. 8GB 128GB will be priced at 33,999. 8GB 256GB variant will be priced at 36,999. When we talk about the upper variants, if that Zoom edition comes to India, I'm not sure that the Zoom edition will be coming to India or not. If it comes, then it's great. If the Zoom edition exists, then the pricing will be around 37,000 to 45,000 rupees, since there is a 12GB to 512GB variant also available. Now, one of the most important parts of the discussion is, since the Redmi K30 Pro or the Poco F2 that will be coming to India is similar to the Redmi K20 Pro that came last year, what are the actual changes that we actually got to see from this device is the question. In my opinion, there is no major change that came onto this device, guys. Whatever that mattered actually did not make an appearance. If you guys have seen my full in-depth review of the Redmi K20 Pro, you guys might have seen what are my problems with the device, and my major problem with this device was this device lacked stereo speakers, and I had complained a lot of times and tweeted Xiaomi and did all the difficulties and told them the feedback that Redmi K20 Pro does not have a stereo speakers, which will actually give very bad content viewing experience, even though the screen is exceptional. But this Redmi K30 Pro or the Poco F2 also does not have a stereo speaker, which is a huge letdown for me, and personally I'm not excited about it. Second thing, upgrade in terms of Snapdragon 865 is there. Redmi K20 Pro has Snapdragon 855, 5 to 10% of day-to-day performance increase, guys. Battery is 4000 on Redmi K20 Pro. K30 K30 Pro / Poco F2 has 4700 mAh with 33 watt fast charging. Again, not a huge difference. K20 Pro does not have IR blaster. K30 Pro or the Poco F2 has an IR blaster, which makes a comeback. It has UFS 2.0 storage or UFS 2.1 storage. This smartphone, when you forget the base model, the upper models have UFS 3.1 storage and LPDDR5 RAM, which is slightly 25% faster or 25% more memory bandwidth when compared to the Redmi K20 Pro. Same pop-up camera, no change there. 48 megapixel camera, 64 megapixel camera on this smartphone. For daily smartphone camera captures, I don't think that will be a huge difference altogether. If you're owning a Redmi K20 Pro and if you're planning to buy a Poco F2, then it's a foolish decision it will be, because there is not much of an upgrade. So well, that was it about the discussion about the Poco F2, how it will be and why it will be the rebranded K30 Pro, what might be the pricing and what is the actual differences when it compares to the last year's K20 Pro. And that's it for this video, guys. If you guys have liked this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel for more interesting content ahead. Thank you for watching, guys.